Hey there everyone, hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to cover in more detail of how to use a clipboard in your Zoom Guitar Lab software. I went over a little bit of the clipboard on my last video, but I'm going to go more into detail on how to utilize your clipboard here, and specifically to create a template of 3 effects that you like and want to use as a template for future patches. Also, how to delete clips and other manipulations of the clipboard. Basically what we want to do here is create a template and then open up a empty patch space and then create a new patch from scratch using a clipboard clip. So to create a clip, we're on a factory preset, the 1-0 Marshall high gain, and let's say we like those 3 combinations that we think we're going to use in the future. You go over to the clip icon, select your first effect, and then you'll see an arrow pointing both ways. That should select the second item, and then we'll choose a third item. And then once you have the 3 selected, you press click again on your mouse, left click, and it should pop into your clipboard as such. Now, you're able to also manipulate, even though you're only able to create a clip of either 1, 2, or 3 effects, and let's say you chose the same 3 effects, you can actually, if you decide you want to move the 3, you want to move the selection window over, I'll show you how to do that. Here we go again, clip, icon, gold drive, Marshall 800, Marshall 4x12 stack. Let's say we, for some reason, we wanted to have these 3 instead in our clip. You press and hold the left mouse button and drag the highlighted area over. There we go. It's a little bit touchy on my computer. I'm using a Mac desktop and a wireless mouse. Okay, so as an exercise again, we'll create a second clip. Word of note, I think the maximum amount of effects you can put in a clip is 3. However, the manual that I read says you can do 4, and I'm not sure about that. Maybe I'm not understanding the manual wording, but basically I'm able to only select 3 as a maximum onto the clipboard. Of course, you could select just 1 or 2 items, like so. Let's say we want to get this plate reverb effect. So go to your clip icon, select that 1 effect you want to use as a clip. Let's say you want to use this reverb effect on future patches. Click on it and boom, it goes down into your clipboard list. Now, to create a brand new patch from scratch using some clipboard items, you can either overwrite a factory preset patch, or you could go down to the bank 5, 1 through 9, your empty locations, and create the patch in an empty location, and I'll use 5, 1. So I click on the empty location and it comes up with all blank. effects windows and effects chain here. And just note, since you don't have any effects in here, you're using 0 processing power, which is really inconsequential information there. But anyway, in future, just look for this number to percentage to increase as you add effects in, and you cannot go over 100%, and it'll prevent you from bringing in more clips. We'll probably show you an example of that. But anyway, let's start creating this new patch. So right away, you can just go and select the clip that you want, and you just drag it in, and it'll, boom, come up with the complete parameters for these 3 effects. As I mentioned before, some of these effects take up 2 windows, like this Marshall JCM 800. You'll have 2 windows for that one effect, because it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parameters. It gives you 7 parameters to adjust, which is cool. More parameters, the better control of your sound that you want to sculpt. And then your cabinet just takes 1, and also your gold drive just takes 1 window. Anyway, eventually we'll probably have 6 windows full, but actually you're only able to have a maximum of 5 effects in your effects chain, and your processor count is up at 67%. Now let's say we wanted to add this plate reverb down here from your clipboard. Select it and drag it up to where you want it. I'll put it after the stack. Now, didn't want to go there. Sometimes it's a little touchy, at least on my setup with a mouse, wireless mouse. But anyway, I'm not using a touch screen or anything. This is all on a desktop, no touch screen. But it's easy to edit this and bring it over to the right. It's just a matter of selecting it and sliding it all over to the end there. Easy. Okay, so we're at 89% processing power. And let's say we wanted to try to add this clip, 3 effects, which would be kind of redundant because you'll have 2 Marshall cabs. But anyway, you're left up to your imagination what you want to do when creating patches. So anyway, let's try to drag this clip in and see what happens. You're not able to do it because you can't go over 100% on your processor load. And also, another thing to note here is this tells you the percentage of processing load your clip will take up. And if the software senses that you're going to go over 100% from the clip, it'll highlight the percentage in red. If you did have a clip that was like that would be below 100% up here, it won't be highlighted in red. It'll be highlighted in I think it's a gray. Let's try to grab an effect that, well, we're at 89%, but let me see if I can find an effect that will keep us under 100%. I'm clicking on a empty window here because that will show your effects selection. So what do I want to add that has low processor load? Since I have a pedal here on the G1X floor, I'll just put an overall volume pedal since it's only going to take 3%. So this should go up to 92%, I think, if I added it. 93%. Part of my math. Anyway, well, I'll close this. So this is our new patch. And see these red buttons here? You probably already can figure it out, but this is like your foot switch to activate or deactivate. Of course, this one will only have one activation button for this effect, even though it takes up 2 windows. Okay, what do we want to do next? Oh yeah, I wanted to show bringing down an effect, creating another clip so that it won't show up as red. So let's go up to our clip icon. Okay. Sometimes you get this message that it'll ask you if you want to save the patch, and basically it's saying, do you want to save your current patch that was empty to empty since you haven't renamed it anything, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later, so I'm just going to cancel out. Anyway, take it for my word that let's say the processor count was like 90%, and I think this output volume pedal has a load of 3%, and let's say we had a clip down here of it. All these would be red since this would take the processor's load above 100, but down here, your output volume pedal, I believe it only takes up 3% or 4%. It won't be red in the percentage value. It'll be like 3% with a gray color. Okay, so we created our new patch. One thing you might want to do at this point is to name it. So you go over to your patch section and double click and you can name it. And add a comment. Just going to write practice. And at this point it'll give you this prompt saying you actually want to write into this empty space this patch that you created. I'll say OK at this time. Also, it gives you these up and down buttons if you wanted to put it in another location besides 5.1. Let's say you want to put it into 5.2. You can do that with these buttons here, but I just want to keep it at 5.1 for right now. Okay, what do we have here? I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe just a little fluke in the software. But it gave you that message, processor overload, and that message will come up if you went over 100%. But I don't know what happened there. I think it's just a hiccup. Okay, moving on. Okay, what more can you do with a clipboard here? Well, I already showed you how to delete a clip. Just left click on your mouse, or right click, sorry, and then you can delete it out. You also can name clips by double clicking. I'll call this Marshall. One L or two L's? I think two L's. Okay. And we'll just leave this as, call it clip 2. But another thing you can do with a clipboard is you can change the order. And I'll change this order by dragging on it. And now your clip 2 is actually in position 1. And your Marshall template is at location 2. So I'll just call this clip 1, just so that we don't get confused here. Let's see what's going on up here. I know it's kind of weird. Maybe it's a little bit buggy when your processor load is approaching 100. I'm pretty sure this will stick anyway. And again, when you try to change patches, or before you leave the patch, it'll give you a prompt message asking you to confirm it, and we want to say OK. And since I pressed the empty location above, the patch is empty, and I'll just scroll through all these patches just to get us back to our initial patch, factory patch 10. Well, this is probably the most I can talk to you about the clipboard, so that'll probably conclude anything else on the clipboard function. And thanks for watching the series of easy to do Guitar Lab videos. I'll be doing a lot more. There's a lot more to this software. And yeah, if you appreciate the information here, I'd appreciate a donation through PayPal. I'd like to get a good microphone, maybe a nice camera with a camera stand to make better videos. This one's a screen capture, so I'd like to photograph or video some things on the actual unit and other things with a real camera. So if you'd like to make a donation through PayPal to help my channel, that'd be great. Anyway, I hope this helps, and we'll see you later.